At one time, this series used to be called Inside the Battle. That was kind of around the time that, I felt like I was going to be posting a lot more Fortnite stuff on this channel. Obviously, there'll be some Fortnite stuff posted, but then I was thinking, we might be going a little bit more of a Fortnite direction before I decided to finally go variety. This has been rebranded Inside the Hexx, which is basically inside the mind of the Hexx. I'm JohnHexx. Now, it won't be just Fortnite when I do these inside the mind of Hexx. I have recorded me watching some of my old gaming videos that will also be a part of Inside the Hexx, which is me, what I was thinking when I made certain decisions in the game. But that's for later. This is Inside the Hexx Fortnite edition. Today, we're gonna look at an Endgame, a stick of truth Endgame. With this was the first time that I played the South Park update that day, and there was a stick of truth Endgame. We're going to go inside of that in just a second. I just want to give my early opinions on, and by the time this video gets out, it won't be an early opinion of the South Park update. Obviously, as a zero builder, mobility, I feel like, is a big part of the game. Not having that in the way you need to have it just really hampers the game and slows things down. And again, I want to stress by saying these are my opinions. I'm not going to say that my opinions are good opinions. I'm not going to say my opinions should be things that happen in the game. I'm not that type. I'm just speaking from the way I like to play the game. Obviously, you want to cater, you would love the game to cater to your style. But yeah, no shockwaves, taking away the sword, giving us crash pads and jump pads, launch pad / launch pads. These are not like good fighting mobility. Jump pads can be, but even those aren't really, like, when I was playing, those weren't spawning a whole lot. I wasn't finding a lot of jump pads either. Most of the time I was running around with nothing, or the wingsuit, or something along those lines. There's a difference between mobility for fighting and rotation mobility. Like, a wingsuit can get you beamed if you're pushing somebody that can actually shoot. I'm not that type of shooter, but like the type of mobility we have in the game now, if you push with that and playing against a person that's a good shot, a decent shot, they will fry you on the way there. Versus a shockwave, which is an instant moving thing. You can attack, you can be on somebody, and it's not as easy for somebody to fry you on the way there. I don't know how many times I got into this matchup and have somebody weak, and there was nothing I can do. That would be usually the point where I would use a shockwave to try to finish them off, but I couldn't get to them. And it was one of the more kind of frustrating things. So to be honest, they're just making changes that are making the game, to me, even more boring. And to me, this chapter season hasn't been the most exciting as it is. And then to make an update that makes the game more boring. Obviously, I haven't been playing as much lately, and I'll probably be playing even less if they continue down this route. So that's just my thoughts on the update. Now let's get into this inside the Hexx Endgame. It's been activated. So what I'm thinking is, like, The Stick of Truth games that I've watched people play, it always came down to somewhat of a heal off. So I'm saying that this is a Stick of Truth game, and I'm thinking about healing, just in case it came down to that. So I'm thinking, you got the Stick of Truth, you're gonna put yourself in position to win the game, right? You're gonna put yourself in like maybe a tunnel where there's only one way in, or some high ground where people are gonna have a hard time getting to you. Something like that. That's what I was thinking at this point. Also, I picked up the respawn, and that brings up a whole nother can of worms. What I'm hating about the update. The very thing happened in this game that I thought I would hate, but in reverse. We'll get to it in a moment. So I've kind of set the scene here. Here we are at the end game. I see the light from the stick. So I'm thinking, okay, is there an underground place here? And then I'm noticing it coming out of the bush. So I go up high. I'm like, I'm just shocked at this point pretty much that he used it there. Really? Because did he think he was going to be hiding in the bush? And no one was going to see him when the light is beaming out of it. Anyway, I have the best position here now. All right, there's a guy driving around in the car. I guess he thought he was just going to sit there. Both guys were beamed pretty good. I didn't finish anything. I made a mistake here, probably not going for him and going for the car. And I find him hiding over there, and I finish him. Problem is getting down here. Is it where the shockwaves would have came in good? Because trying to control this thing and stay in storm, and it's a 10 tick, it's going to be hard. And I'm trying to get back in, and I run right into him. But look what it is, a respawn. He's doing everything, he's shooting everything he can right here, but there's nothing he can do. So if he was a great player, a great shooter, he'd probably be beaming me on the way down here. He isn't. So at this point, if I can get to the ground, I'm thinking 2 shots. I 2-pumped him. And I beat him with a pump. Which is a slow fire rate. Oh my God. So 2 things there. Before I ever played the update, when I was watching other people play, obviously I didn't like that the mobility was gone. I already discussed that at the beginning of the video. What I didn't discuss was the respawns. And I said, if I got to an end game and I had somebody beat, but maybe I was down to 1 shot myself and I barely beat him, and they respawn with more health than me and come back and beat me, that would be frustrating. And that pretty much what happened here, but in reverse, I got the benefit from it. But you can't even respawn in an end game and reload. I just don't like the fact that they give people extra lives, even if I did benefit from it. That's how you could tell I'm not a hypocrite, because I'm not celebrating when I am being like, oh my God, this is so great because I benefited from it. No, I won from it. I still feel like it's a bad item and shouldn't be in the game, at least in that way. Maybe if it was something in the beginning of the game, but even then, there's a reload if people want to respawn. But doubling back to that end game, me going over there and being shocked that the player didn't at least take the high ground there with the Stick of Truth. They went low ground and in a bush, when obviously the stick is beaming in the air, was a bad choice by them. Now, I beamed the Stick of Truth guy as there was a guy driving around in a SUV. Then the guy in the SUV stopped and went into the passenger seat. I think the other guy, because he was like weak from me shooting him, went and ran away and tried to find a hiding place in that little space. So I shoot the guy in the SUV, and here's the mistake I made. I went for the car because obviously I see him jumping around. You may see me here thinking that, do I not see him? Do I still think he's in the car or behind it or anything? No, I do see him, but my thought process was, let me blow this car up, it might get him. Which I didn't end up doing because I left it at one shot. I should have gone for him and not the car. And I didn't know what kind of health he had. He may have had some health to get back healthy there at the end, which I think he did. In a normal circumstance, he would have beat me there. Just because I had a poor rotation trying to get back into the storm there. And I killed myself and I ran right into him. So that was a mistake on my part, not continuing to shoot at him and shoot at the car. But the respawn saved me, and I two-pumped him. Game, set, match. Until next time, I'm JohnHexx. I am out.